When was the last time you did something that truly scared you? Not something dangerous, something difficult? Something that forced you to dig deeper, push harder, and become more than you were yesterday. Most people wake up, look at their calendar, and ask, what's easy to do today? But successful people, they wake up and ask, what's hard and necessary? If you want to know why your life isn't changing, why success keeps slipping just out of reach, then listen closely. You're avoiding the very things that are designed to shape your future. Let me give you a reason to stay through this speech, because what you hear in the next few minutes may hurt your comfort, but it will save your potential. You'll begin to understand that every single dream, every goal, and every transformation is guarded by difficulty. The only way in is to earn it by doing the hard thing. And you don't need motivation. Motivation is a mood. It's unreliable. What you need is self-respect. You need to look yourself in the mirror and say, if I only do what's easy, I'll only live an average life. That should scare you more than failure ever could. Every day you avoid what's difficult. You tell your future self, you don't matter. But when you force yourself to do what others avoid, you send a different message. I will be the one who endures. I will be the one who rises. Think about it, everything worth having demands effort. Mastering a skill, building a business, saving a relationship, getting healthy, building wealth, it all comes with friction. That friction, that's life checking if you're serious. If you don't push through, life assumes you're not. And it hands the reward to someone else. Someone who didn't wait to feel ready. Someone who acted. You don't need to be the smartest. You don't need to be the most talented. But you must be willing to do what most won't. Because the secret to success is hidden behind the pain you avoid. Discipline is not punishment. It's proof of belief. Every time you show up, even when you're tired, distracted, scared, that's you betting on yourself. And yes, it will be uncomfortable. Yes, it will be lonely sometimes. But, what's more painful? Regret. Regret for all the times you took the easy way, avoided the fight, silenced your own potential. So if you remember one thing from this talk, remember this: comfort is a slow death. Choose the pain of discipline now, or suffer the pain of regret forever. Force yourself to do hard things, because easy won't change you, but hard will build you. Growth is hidden in discomfort. You will never evolve in a place where everything feels safe, predictable, and easy. Think about it. Have you ever learned something valuable from doing what you already knew how to do? Of course not. We grow by being stretched, not by staying still. Yet most people cling to ease like it's a gift, but ease is a trap. It tricks you into thinking you're progressing when, in reality, you're just treading water. You're not drowning, but you're definitely not moving forward either. Discomfort, however, is the signal that something important is happening, that you're entering the zone where progress lives. The reason why discomfort is necessary is simple. It forces adaptation. When your body is pushed, it grows stronger. When your mind is challenged, it sharpens. When your heart is broken, it expands its capacity for empathy and wisdom. But none of that happens if you keep running from what's hard. Look around, everything meaningful in life comes wrapped in difficulty. A meaningful relationship requires hard conversations. A successful business demands long nights, countless failures, and relentless discipline. Becoming physically healthy means sacrificing comfort and facing the pain of change. And all of these things require you to embrace discomfort as a necessary part of the process. Most people have trained themselves to avoid discomfort the moment it arrives. They feel pain and immediately retreat. They hit a wall and turn back. But here's the truth. That wall, that pain, it's a door. And if you press on long enough, something changes inside you. You begin to realize that what once scared, strengthens you. You stop fearing the hard thing because the hard thing becomes your teacher. And when you face enough of them, your mindset changes. You stop saying, why is this happening to me? And start saying, this is happening for me. This shift is everything. Because once you stop resisting discomfort and start welcoming it, you become unstoppable. You don't crumble under pressure, you transform under it. You don't fear failure, you use it. And more importantly, you stop measuring success by comfort. You start measuring it by growth. The question becomes not, is this easy? But is this making me better? So if you want to separate yourself from the average, the ordinary, the uncommitted, then run toward discomfort. Seek it. Chase the task that scares you. Tackle the thing you've been avoiding, because that's where growth lives. That's where the next level of you is waiting. Not in the soft cushion of routine, but in the sharp edge of challenge. Comfort is where dreams go to die. But discomfort, that's where warriors are born. That's where greatness is forged. You're not supposed to be ready. That's the lie most people tell themselves to stay stuck. I'll start when I feel ready. I'll act when the timing is right. But the truth is, readiness is not a starting point. It's a result. You become ready by stepping forward when it's uncomfortable, unclear, and scary. Waiting for readiness is just another way of waiting for permission. And no one is going to give you that. The world doesn't reward those who wait. It rewards those who move. Think about the people you admire, the entrepreneurs, leaders, visionaries. They didn't start with a perfect plan or ideal conditions. They started with a decision to act despite fear, a decision to move when the world around them said, wait. And that's what separates them from everyone else. Because most people are addicted to comfort. They want all green lights before they hit the gas. But life doesn't work that way. Sometimes you have to start while it's still dark. You have to trust the process before it makes sense. The truth is, feeling unready is part of the journey. In fact, it's a sign you're aiming high enough. If your dreams don't intimidate you, you're not dreaming big enough. And if you're waiting for a moment when the fear disappears, you'll be waiting forever. Fear doesn't go away. You just get stronger. You train your courage by doing the thing that scares you. You build your confidence by acting, not by overthinking. Action is what creates clarity, not the other way around. When you force yourself to begin, even in chaos, even in doubt, something powerful happens. You stop living from your fears and start living from your potential. You silence the voice in your head that says not yet and replace it with now. And now is where power lives. Because every great success story begins with one choice: to start when it feels impossible, to show up when nothing's guaranteed, to take the leap even if the landing isn't certain. And yes, it will be uncomfortable. You might fail. You might get it wrong. But even in failure, you'll gain something. You'll learn. You'll grow. You'll become the kind of person who doesn't wait to be chosen, who chooses themselves. That shift alone can change everything. Because the moment you stop waiting to be ready is the moment your future begins. That's the moment you separate yourself from the crowd. Most people wait. You won't. So if you're scared, unsure, overwhelmed, good. That means you're on the edge of something that matters. Don't step back. Lean in. The breakthrough you're looking for won't come when everything's perfect. It'll come the second you decide to move, even though it's hard, even though you're afraid. Because you're not supposed to be ready. You're supposed to begin anyway. Repetition builds resilience. It's not the dramatic moments that shape you. It's the small, hard things you choose to do consistently. The uncomfortable conversations you don't avoid. The workouts you show up for when no one's watching. The discipline to sit down and work even when motivation is nowhere in sight. These actions, repeated day after day, forge a mental toughness that can't be faked. And this resilience, this quiet, invisible power is what separates those who merely wish from those who actually win. Most people underestimate the power of doing something hard over and over again. They want results now. They want transformation without the process. But success doesn't come from intensity. It comes from consistency. It's not about doing something heroic once. It's about showing up again and again, especially when it's boring, when it's painful, and when it feels like it's not working. Because that's when most people quit. And if you keep going, you build something far greater than just skill. You build identity. You become someone who doesn't fold under pressure, someone who doesn't negotiate with excuses, someone who is stronger than the situation. Think about it. Every time you do the hard thing, you're proving something to yourself. Not to the world, not to your critics, but to that quiet voice inside that's always watching. And that voice needs evidence. It doesn't believe what you say. It believes what you do repeatedly. When you push through resistance consistently, your brain begins to understand, this is who I am now. Not someone who hopes, someone who acts. Not someone who waits for the right time, someone who creates the right results through repetition and willpower. Repetition also builds muscle memory for your mind. The more you expose yourself to discomfort, the less intimidating it becomes. What once felt impossible now becomes familiar. And that's how you grow. Not in leaps, but in layers. Every hard thing you do lays down another layer of strength. Every repetition rewires your mind to tolerate pressure, to endure stress, and to find calm in chaos. Resilience isn't a trait, it's a choice, made again and again until it becomes second nature. And here's the secret. The longer you stay in the game, the more unbeatable you become. Because most people won't last. They'll fall off when the novelty wears off. But you'll still be there doing the work, stacking your reps, getting stronger. Day after day. That's where the advantage is not in talent, not in luck, but in endurance. In the willingness to repeat the hard thing until it becomes your edge. So, if you want to build a life that's unshakable, stop chasing hacks and shortcuts. Choose the hard thing. Do it again. And again. And again. Because repetition builds resilience, and resilience builds champions. Most people quit at 40%. That's not just a motivational line, it's a reality backed by experience. When you think you're done, exhausted, mentally drained, or completely out of options, you're not even halfway through your true capacity. Your body may scream stop, your mind may beg for comfort, but the truth is you still have more inside you. So much more. The problem is most people never access it. They hit discomfort, pain, failure, and they take it as a full stop. But for those who push past that 40% barrier, something remarkable happens. They unlock strength they never knew existed. You have to understand this. Your limits are mostly mental. The ceiling you keep hitting, it's not made of steel. It's made of fear, self-doubt, and a lifetime of conditioning. You've been trained to avoid struggle, to seek ease, to turn back when it burns. But that moment of burn, that place of pressure, that's the gate. That's where your real power is buried. When you push through that barrier, you stop being ordinary. You begin to tap into something deeper, resilience, grit, true endurance. This is the same reason elite performers, elite athletes, successful leaders, they don't stop when they're tired. They stop when they're done because they know the mind quits long before the body actually needs to. And the ones who succeed, they've learned to recognize the 40% moment not as the end, but as the beginning of growth. That moment when everything feels like it's falling apart, that's the moment that builds you. That's where champions are carved, not in comfort, but in crisis. But most people never reach that point. They turn around at the first sign of friction. They confuse fatigue with failure. But what they don't realize is that the growth they seek, the goals they want, the version of themselves they dream of becoming at all lives on the other side of that 40%. So when your legs shake, when your mind screams, when your confidence wavers, you must keep going. You must override that voice that says this is enough because it's lying to you. You're only at 40%. Keep pushing and you'll shock yourself. This mindset is rare. That's why success is rare. That's why greatness is lonely. Because it requires doing what most won't. It requires trusting that your limits are illusions. It means seeing struggle as feedback, not failure. And the more you embrace this, the stronger you become. Physically, mentally, emotionally. You begin to redefine what's possible, not just for yourself, but for everyone watching you. So, the next time you want to quit, remember this: your breakthrough isn't at the start. It's buried beneath resistance, right past the voice that tells you to stop. That's your moment. That's your test. And if you choose to press on, you don't just beat the challenge. You become the kind of person who no longer fears the hard thing. You become unstoppable. Hard roads lead to worthy destinations. That's not just a saying, it's the blueprint for every significant achievement in history. Nothing truly meaningful, nothing that lasts, nothing that elevates your life ever comes from taking the easy path. The easy road looks attractive, it's smooth, it's popular, and it doesn't demand much of you. But the easy road always leads to a crowded place of mediocrity. The hard road, on the other hand, is steep. It's filled with setbacks, loneliness, uncertainty, and pain. But that's why the destination it leads to is worth it, because few are willing to endure the journey. Every dream you've had, the body you want, the life you envision, the legacy you hope to leave, it lives far beyond the first few steps. It's at the end of the long, brutal, uphill climb. You can't shortcut your way there. The path will test you. It will strip away your excuses. It will expose your weaknesses. But that's not punishment. It's preparation. The hard road is shaping you into the kind of person who can handle the success you're asking for. You don't get to skip the process and still keep the prize. The struggle is what makes you capable. The grind is what builds your identity. And the truth is, the hard road reveals who you really are. When nothing is going your way, when plans fall apart, when people doubt you, when failure slaps you in the face, how you respond in those moments defines your character. Will you give up, or will you rise? Will you run back to comfort, or will you keep marching toward what matters? The hard road separates the committed from the curious. It filters out those who are interested from those who are invested. There will be moments on that road when it will feel like no progress is being made. But trust this: every step forward, no matter how small, is moving you closer. The journey is slow for a reason. It's teaching you patience, perseverance, perspective. And when you finally arrive, when you reach that peak and look back at the climb, you'll realize it was never just about reaching the top. It was about who you became along the way. Most people will never understand this. They'll keep searching for shortcuts, for easier ways, for comfort disguised as success. But you're not most people. You are willing to take the road that breaks you down so it can build you up. You understand that the pain of discipline is temporary, but the reward of enduring that pain lasts forever. So don't fear the hard road. Don't avoid it. Respect it. Embrace it. Let it sharpen you, stretch you, and mold you into someone unstoppable. Because at the end of that hard road is a life you can be proud of, a life that was earned, not given. That's the life that matters. That's the destination worth every step. Let me leave you with this: the hard things you avoid today are the very things that hold the keys to your future. Every excuse, every delay, every fear you surrender to cost you time, progress, and potential. But every time you force yourself to rise, to face what's uncomfortable, to do what others won't, you're casting votes for the person you're becoming. And that person, that version of you, they don't live in the land of comfort. They live on the edge of discipline. They breathe effort. They are built, not born, through every hard step you take. So choose the hard path again and again, not because it's glamorous. Not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Because when life gets real and it will comfort, won't save you. Talent won't carry you. Only strength will. And strength is built by doing the hard things. You don't need permission. You don't need the perfect plan. You just need the courage to begin and the grit to keep going. The difference between where you are and where you want to be is measured in hard choices. Make them, face them, win them. And one day, when others ask how you did it, you'll look them in the eyes and say, I forced myself to do what was hard, and it made me unstoppable.